Right, alright YouTube, welcome back to another video. We are at Reload Sanctuary for our morning cardio thing. I'm just going to get in a nice easy 10k today. I was going to completely stay off the legs because I ran a half marathon tomorrow, my longest run to date, just a 21k easy. Was holding around about 5:20 pace throughout, but yeah, feeling a little bit beaten up today, so I was literally just going to get on an urge bike and do like a slow 45-60 minute zone 2. But I feel like I just need to get moving. I feel like I need to get a little bit more of a sweat on than that this morning. So yeah, gonna hop on a treadmill, just take it nice and easy to begin with, because I'm feeling a little bit beaten up. I can feel it in the calves, I can feel it in the shins, I can feel it in the knees. So yeah, gonna take it nice and easy this morning, because we are officially now 1 week out from Bangkok, so I've got to be very, very careful. Don't want to be injuring myself or anything like that prior to the race, because I'll be working my arse off for this. So yeah, just a nice easy 10 this morning to get moving, and then we will go from there. I'm in a little bit of a predicament right now, so I'll get onto that later in this video, but first we run. Oh, swear to God, it's been about 10 minutes since I last filmed. I just made my way to the treadmill. Seem to be procrastinating a hell of a lot recently. I think just where I'm so sore, I'm so beat up, I feel so fatigued. I'm like, ah, shit, do I really want to do this? The answer is always yes though, the answer is always yes. Get my headphones on now, stick on the Vigorous Steve podcast. Before you know it, we'll be absolutely flying. Oh, if I can get this done, let's get this done. Right, so we are just whipping up the pre-workout now, prior to our lift. So I haven't really filmed much since cardio this morning, and to be fair, I haven't really done much either. It's literally only, what, 2 p.m. now? We were at the gym at around about 8 this morning, so I literally went home, had to buy a new helmet because I lost my helmet for my ped, and quite frankly, I don't want to kill myself, you know. Safety's cool, right? You know, you're not going to look very fucking cool when you're dead, so I bought a new helmet for my moped. Then went to pick up some pre-workout and creatine, and then literally just went to a coffee shop and got locked in with some content creating. Today is a Saturday, so usually it's like my day off, but I find myself getting really, really bored and I need something to stay wired. So 9 times out of 10, I'll take myself to a coffee shop and just get into creative time. But we're back now for the lift. The reason we're back at 2 p.m. precisely is because the gym has implemented new rules now in regards to tripods, filming, etc., where you can film now 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., 2 p.m. to 4 p.m, and 8 p.m. to 10 p.m, I believe, which I think is absolutely fair. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. At least they've actually given you allocated filming times in order to film, so that way, like, no fucking members can be like, oh yeah, you know, I don't want to be in the back of your shot, this, that, the other. It's like, oh really? Well, you should have fucking come an hour sooner then, son. But yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I spoke to Nicholas, funnily enough, the other day, and gave me the number of his videographer, photographer, because oh my god, that's another story in itself. I went to shoot some of the new VQ ranges the other day, and this photographer in which I got recommended, fuck me, like, he was a young lad. Look, I'm not going to slate him, he just needs a bit of training, but the bloke couldn't fucking take photos, could not fucking take photos. Took a few rounds of some shots of me. I looked back at the photos and I was like, right, you've never done this before, have you? And he kind of just looked at me like, and I was like, look mate, we're going to be wasting our time here, let's just call it a day there. You can go home and I'll get in touch with your boss and just say that the photos weren't what I'm after. So yeah, didn't want to get him in trouble or anything like that, because he's a young lad, he just needed training. But yeah, ultimately, compared to the standard in which I'm used to, and obviously the quality of content in which I post on socials, it was, yeah, nowhere near. To the point where I even got on the phone to videographer Ben afterwards, and I was just like, look mate, I just want to say thank you so much for what you do for me. Like, I don't think I appreciate you enough, because honestly, how good he makes me look in front of the camera compared to what this lad did. Like, fucking hell, I came out of that shoot thinking, fuck me. All this time I thought I was a half decent looking lad, and seeing them photos back, it absolutely shot my confidence. So yeah, shout out videographer Ben, and you know, any other videographer or photographer in which I've worked with, Bailey, Chris, Tony, All you guys, mate, love you to bits. You make me look good in front of the camera. This bloke, on the other hand, fucking hell, dread. But yeah, Nicholas, going back to that story, Nicholas gave me the details of his videographer and photographer yesterday, so I think I should be able to shoot them VQ ranges in the gym, hopefully, fingers crossed. But like I said, going back to the original point, that's why we're here at this time, because now there's allocated filming times for this gym, and we are in for our lifting session, full body lift, and I'll be throwing on some additional arms at the end as well, because there's no arms at the minute. And then I will get onto the predicament afterwards, because I suppose that kind of does tie in a little bit as to why there's going to be a reduction in lifting sessions as such going forward. I say that there won't, but yeah, I'm just in two minds about something at the minute. But I'll get onto that a little bit later on. Speak soon. Lovely. Right, so that is the lift done there, off to get my post-workout meal now, because I'm a fucking hungry boy after that. I did decide to throw in a set of biceps and a set of triceps at the end. I say a set of biceps and a set of triceps. A bicep exercise and a tricep exercise, 3 sets of each. So I don't want to be losing them aesthetics, right? I think when we talk about the predicament, I can't even fucking say the word. When we talk about the predicament, is that how you say it? I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to go with it. That I was going to get onto at the end of the video. I think I've low-key decided what I'm going to do. But we will discuss that. As for now, see you when I'm with my food. Right, so we've got a post-workout meal. Chicken, veg, rice. Typical bodybuilders post-workout. Real man's food. But we do appear to have a little friend that seems to want to share. Going to eat this, head home, and then most probably crack on with some content creation after that. It was meant to be a chilled Saturday, but I really cannot sit still. I just get bored shitless, man. See you at home. Right, gang, let's get this video wrapped up and ended here with the predicament, which isn't really a predicament because I know exactly what I am going to do. Now, when I took the physique shots, in which you would have seen earlier, I was looking at myself and I'd never really been in this position before where I looked at myself and I thought, damn, I'm looking small. Like, compared back to my bodybuilding days, I'm looking small. But at the same time, I look at myself performing, running, etc. and I think, like, damn, I need to lose a little bit of size here in order to really get better in regards to my performance, my runs, my functional training, etc. Now, my whole sort of goal with this has been to keep the aesthetics, the aesthetics in which I've got, which, let's be honest, isn't anything special, whilst getting better in regards to my performance. Now, I was never really dead set on being the best HYROX athlete or runner in which I could be, because for me, resistance training is or has always been the backbone of my routine, and that will always remain. But I have really got the itch now to want to send it with my runs, to want to send it with HYROX, and ultimately start really getting some good times. I probably will look to book in a half marathon towards the back end of the year. Like I mentioned, I ran one the other day, felt really, really good, and for an easy pace was a pretty decent time as well. I think I got it in 150. So if I was to run a half mara and aim for like sub 140, that could be the next goal post HYROX. And for HYROX as well, like I said, I do have the goal of a sub 70 in Bangkok, but then I have Cardiff literally a month after that, where the goal would then potentially be sub 65. and then sub 60 from there. As you guys know, you know me well enough at this point, I always need something to work towards. I'm even potentially considering a photo shoot prep towards the back end of the year. At this point, I'm like a jack of all trades, master at none. That has always been me down to a T. I've always been a natural athlete. I put my hand to anything and I can pick it up like that, but I've never been sensational at anything. So I'm not really gonna get too caught up with trying to be the best at something, but I do have that innate desire in me to want to be elite at everything in which I do, and I always will aim to be the best at everything in which I do. So yeah, just had a weird sort of moment earlier where I was in between, bruh, I'm small, and no, I'm too big. I need to lose a little bit of size in order to improve my performance here. But I don't think you do need to give up size and aesthetics in order to perform well, because there's multiple guys that do exactly that. For example, you look at guys like Hunter McIntyre. I believe he's still the HYROX world record holder. Maybe not anymore, but he's a 3 times HYROX world champion, and he genuinely looks like a bodybuilder as he's running around that course. Someone like Jake Dearden, for example, still has a phenomenal physique, and he's a HYROX Elite 15 athlete. Ollie Marchand performs very, very well. He's a great runner, great athlete. The guy's fucking jacked. The guy's absolutely jacked. Even taking it back to when I first landed in Bali and I'd done that double sims with Reese Griffith. He's much bigger than me. He was in his off season. He's taller than me. He holds more muscle than me. He's in better shape than me. And he was outrunning me. He was making me look like an absolute fucking slug. And he's literally just ran a 104 solo. So it quite clearly goes to show that you don't need to give up size in order to get better at running. I truly do believe, and from what I've learned so far, running is really a long-term game when it comes to building up that capacity in the legs, when it comes to getting quicker, when it comes to getting better at holding pace and knowing which pace you're holding, etc., etc. Getting better at broken running, because let's not forget, like, yeah, marathons, half marathons, it's about that capacity in the legs. HYROX, it's all about broken running, because yes, you're running 8K, but you're not running a straight 8K. You've got ski in between that. You've then got sled push and pull. You've then got burpees. You've then got rower. You've then got lunges. You finish with wall balls. HYROX is all about broken running and getting good at that. So that's where I'm at. I've decided now I don't want to lose any more size. Certainly not. I do want to hold the aesthetics, because that's ultimately what my fitness journey up to this point has all been about. I don't want to fucking go and lose a shit ton of muscle in which I've spent a decade trying to build. Bearing in mind, like I said, aesthetically I'm nothing special either. And I think that's why I wanna try and hold the aesthetics as much as what I can, in order to look like I lift heavy weights, but at the same time I want to perform just like the runners do, just like the HYROX athletes do. Realistically, I don't think it really matters. You look the way in which you want to look, and you do what you want to do at the end of the day. I want to still look like I lift, but I also want to perform just as good as some of these HYROX guys, some of these marathon runners that absolutely dedicate their craft to that. So that's where we're at. So yeah, little bit of a confusing one to end that video on, but yeah, it was just a weird spot. Like I'm really happy with the way in which I look at the minute. I don't think I've ever been happier with the way in which I look right now. But I suppose when you compare it back to what I used to look like in my bodybuilding days, I used to be a hell of a lot bigger. But then I look back at pictures of myself of when I was bigger, in which I literally have today, and I think, fuck me. I looked inflamed, I looked bloated, I looked old, I looked so unhealthy. And I'm not saying, oh, you shouldn't chase size. Like, absolutely you should. If you want to be bigger, be bigger. Like 9 times out of 10, everyone wants to chase size. Everyone wants to be a little bit bigger. But I was doing that to an extreme. Whereas if you were to just run an off season, get lean and responsive first, reverse out of that slowly, titrate up food strategically, and look to get stronger over time, then you're not going to look like this inflamed, bloated mess in which I once was. You got to think, I was chasing it to an extreme. In order to pack on muscle, you don't need to go to them sort of lengths. So yeah, by all means, chase the aesthetics. If you want to chase running, HYROX, whatever it may be, right? But no, regardless, gonna wrap that one up there. Feeling good at the minute, feeling the fittest in which I've ever felt. We've got Bangkok coming up in 1 week. There will be a few videos prior to then, so stay tuned for them. Like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.